mindset and self-belief. The mindset is super important. No matter what you do, no matter what position you are in life, you should always believe, just believe. Like I previously mentioned, right? I didn't know why my college was going to give me a call, but I knew for sure it was going to give me a call. That's the thought I entertained. That's the belief I entertained. I mean, I think you can go and probably I will post it today about, I just put a picture, like I put a story, right, about when I was in college. In my Instagram, I just put like, done being a student in an educational institute, hashtag done with the system, something like that. And then I meant it. That was 4.5 years ago. I was done being a student. The next time I come here, I would come as a chief lecturer or whatever, but not as a student. I made sure of that. I made sure it happened. So these are the things that are very, very important for you to learn. Your mindset is super important. Don't ask yourself, how am I going to do this? Set a goal. I want to get a BMW in 10 years, let's say. Don't think of how. Just believe you will and figure out how you can. It's a process. You can always take a step back. And just because today you want to be a YouTuber, in 2 years' time, suddenly if you want to go into film direction, you can. This is a very infamous advice to give. Like, I'm not saying you should be jumping between careers. What I'm saying is, be open to the idea of change. Recently, the very recent site that I did, it was a house. We converted it into an office to do some business, right? And it was owned by 2 people. One guy was a mechanical engineer who was working in that field for 8 years. He's 34, 35, has a family, kids. The other guy was an IT person, software engineer, has experience of about 14 years or something. He's 40. They have families, and you know what they did? They called it a quit. I'm not going to pursue this. I'm going to start my own business. 14 years after being in IT, 8 years after being in mechanical engineering, like in that field. And they have families to feed, they have children to feed. It's not a small decision to make. They did that. If 34-year-old, 40-year-old, by the way, that's not very old age, but if they can do it, having a family to suffice, why can't we guys? Definitely you guys. I'm not saying you to jump between careers. I'm just telling you to try various different things. Whatever that you think you might like. Try it, give yourself a timeline, right? I'm not saying you should have accomplished this by this age, get a house by that age. That's not what I'm saying. Give yourself a time frame where you can experiment various different things, or else you'll just be roaming around. You wouldn't know what you want to do. Let's say I give all of you a Ferrari, and I'll give you 50,000 bucks to go anywhere from Chennai. You have one of the most powerful engines, one of the most powerful cars, but if you do not know if you're going to drive it to Hyderabad or Kochi or Bangalore or Kanyakumari, where are you going to go? You have a Ferrari, but you don't know where to go. You're just going to roam around, and in the middle of night, you're going to end in nowhere. Why I'm saying this is, it doesn't matter how talented or how smart or how much knowledge you have. If you don't know where you're going, you'll just be roaming around. Who do you think are mostly jobless? Talented people. Smart people who have a lot of knowledge. You will be verbally butchered. If you want to start a business, the first slipper shot you'll get is from your house. Luckily, in my case, that wasn't my problem. It's just I had my mother. My mother was constantly pushing me. I had nobody to convince. Because, you know, what gives you that power? Don't be dependent on money from your parents. They lose their power on you. Respect them. They will verbally butcher you. Verbally butcher you. Then, when a stranger comes and yells at you, how would you mind it? Because the people that you love have already butchered you verbally. So it doesn't matter what the world says, the stranger says. So experiment a lot of things. That is how your mindset should be. That's how your self-belief should be. It's very important. It's super important to understand. Mindset and self-belief are so powerful. I said about ancestral wealth. Beep ancestral wealth. Beep it. There is nothing more powerful than time, youth, and mindset at your disposal. If you have all these 3 at your disposal, then you're indomitable. Nobody can stop you.